Welcome back, friends and family. This is my July 2022 month in review. July was an interesting month. There were lots of really high highs and some really low lows. July felt like it dragged on forever, and yet there still wasn't enough time to do everything. Naturally, we will start at the beginning of the month. I had a really good month in June. I read a lot, I did a lot, and I was very productive, but I was also running on low. I wasn't getting enough sleep, dealing with health issues, and didn't have a lot of time to myself. And all of that caught up to me in July. At the beginning of the month, I picked up a few books and read the first chapters to decide what I wanted to read. I read a little bit of Where the Rhythm Takes You, but put it aside for another time. Also tried Blood, Metal, Bone by Lindsay Cummings and thought it was excellent, but wasn't really in the mood for horse girl stories. I will also come back to this one in the future. I also picked up The Battle for Wandla by Toni Dieter-Lizzie. This is the third book in a children's space opera series. I really love it, but again, I wasn't really in the mood to finish out a series that I was so in love with. The art is beautiful, the audiobooks are amazing, and I'm just overall in love with these books, but I just wasn't ready to let go. I ultimately landed on Song of the Forever Rains by E.J. Mello, but didn't get around to finishing it due to a massive reading slump. I am prone to falling into reading slumps when I have too many things to do and have spread myself too thinly. As I mentioned in my June month in review, I'm still trying to figure out how to work from home and be a good parent. I am struggling to find time for myself, for my work, for my passions, for my relationship, and for my child. It has been such a journey, and every week has been different. I cannot wait to find a rhythm that works for us, but for now, I'm just trying new things and making the best with what we have. Everything is a trade-off. There just isn't enough hours in the day to get everything done and give everything 100% of my attention. So often, what gets brushed under the rug are my own needs and my work. My child comes first, and house chores come second. And let me tell you, there are a never-ending list of chores that you have to do when you have a toddler. With this much to do and being pulled in so many directions, it's easy to get burnt out, but I've found that holding myself accountable by recording clips every few days for these vlogs has really helped me. Another thing that helps me is taking part in my passions, like reading. Even though I was in a reading slump, I was still able to squeeze in some books here and there throughout the month. Reading is a very important escape for me, and I would say it's even one of my only personality traits. At the moment, graphic novels are one of my favorites. They are low in time commitment, but still full of story and character and passion. One of the graphic novels I read in July was The Emerald Gate, which is the last book in the 5 Worlds series. I love this children's fantasy sci-fi story about rebellion and gods old and new and culture with tons of commentary. 5 out of 5 stars. This book made me cry. I highly recommend. Some exciting news is I got a tattoo in the beginning of July as well. This is my 4th tattoo, and I honestly love body modifications. They make me feel so much more alive and present in my body. Another thing that makes me feel more alive is writing. I love writing, which is why I've taken up ghostwriting as a profession, even though I don't have much time to myself. When I do get time to myself, I work, I clean, and I read, and those are the things that keep me going. I'm currently behind on my writing deadlines, but I worked really hard in the beginning of July to catch up, only to fall even farther behind in the later half of the month. My child ended up needing me more in July, and that's fine because I'm a mom first, even when it's hard. Some days are just going to be easier than others, but this is all part of the journey of life. I'm working really hard right now to look for the upsides of every situation, even if that's just a new book. Speaking of new books, A Crown for the Prayer Shy came out in July, and as you can see, I was over the moon excited. This book came to me at the perfect time in my life. This series is reflective and comforting, like a warm hug from a family member. This is exactly what I needed. I ended up reading this book in a matter of a few days. And the timing couldn't have been more perfect because the time that this book came out is when I also found out about the passing of a family member. While I was grieving and lost in my emotions and the world and spiraling, this book kept me grounded. I honestly don't think I would have taken the news as well as I did if I hadn't been at the beginning of reading this book. If you are ever in need of a comforting, reflective read, I highly recommend picking up one of Becky Chamber's books. This book, my friends, my family, all kept me going through this hard time. I honestly couldn't have done it without them. But grieving is grieving, and I still fell behind on work in the second half of the month, and now that the month is over, I am paying for it in August, trying to catch up. Amazon Prime Day was also in July, so I did purchase a book, which was Frozen 2: Forest of Shadows. I read this book a few years ago and absolutely loved it. If you want more from the Frozen franchise, I highly recommend this book and its audiobook companion. In search of comfort, I also purchased the Last Apprentice series in a book lot off of Mercari. Most of them were pretty damaged, but I think I can give them a second life. I've already completed fixing up one of the books, which is the one I need to read next, and it looks honestly really good. One thing that's helped me manage my time better is meal prepping and planning. I now plan out our dinners for the week and prep all of the baby's lunches. This has been a game changer. I've also been taking my time when showering and getting ready in the morning. Overall, I'm just trying to be more present in my life and proactive when it comes to my physical and mental health. Health is so very important, so please never feel guilty about taking care of yourself. One thing I've been doing to take care of myself is listen to this song for a week straight instead of listening to audiobooks, and that's okay. Listening to music and audiobooks or talking on the phone with a friend while I do chores and go through my day has been very important for when days start to blend together through the monotonous tasks and never-ending to-do lists. When your days are as repetitive as mine, finding things to break them up and make them more interesting piece by piece can really help you get through those long weeks. With a day full of reading the same picture books, cleaning the same spaces several times, and doing the same chores, keeping my mind busy is super important. Working from home and parenthood can be very isolating. So having someone to talk to on a daily basis has really helped me feel less alone. As a first-time parent, I've learned a lot, and I cannot express the importance of getting out of the house, especially on those harder days when you don't want to. One of our favorite places to go because it's free is the library. Additionally, I love books and being at libraries, so it's a win for everyone. My daughter gets to see other kids, I get to look at books, we both pick out books together. It's really refreshing, especially on those hard days. One of the main struggles of parenthood that I still have yet to master is eating enough meals in a day and finding time for nutrition. I often forget to drink enough water and eat 3 meals, so having protein bars on hand are a really great way for me to make sure that I'm eating. If I don't have ready-to-grab meals, I just won't eat because I'd rather spend my time focusing on what I need to do for work or for my passions. I've been struggling a bit lately with my mental health, so it has been very important for me to begin getting back on the horse by taking part in my passions and looking for things to look forward to. One of which would be Orilium, the Autumn Equinox Readathon, that's happening next month in August. I've already got my TBR together, and I am so excited to have a month full of books. I still have to focus on work and being a parent, but sometimes it's okay to put the chores aside to do something that I want to do, like play Stardew Valley or read books. And sometimes even just stare out a window for just a few minutes to gather myself. It's easy to get lost in life, servicing others, especially when basic needs aren't being met. I saw a reel on Instagram the other day that really stuck with me, so I wanted to share a little bit about it with you. In the reel, a woman is drinking coffee, looking out a window, and the text on the screen says something along the lines of, "You're always there for everyone, but who's there for you when you need strength?" The camera pans to the window, and the woman responds, "I am." This really had me reflecting on basically my entire life. I tend to be there for other people and take care of others, but when it comes to my own problems, I have to deal with them on my own, mostly because that's how it's always been. So in August, I'm going to focus on being better at letting others care about me and help me when I need support. But I'll also support myself by getting a haircut, which I'm super excited about, take care of my physical needs a little bit better, read tons of books, catch up on my writing projects, and overall, do better for me. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in Orilium next month.